Are you already feeling overwhelmed by the entire marriage immigration journey? If you're in the very beginning of your green card process and you're already experiencing some stress and anxiety around it, stick around and watch this video. Here you will learn how the whole process and the waiting post-submission goes for different couples we work with, and we will make sure to share a few real-life examples with you to illustrate it better. We've helped so many couples navigate this journey effectively by avoiding issues like this, just like Josh and Andrea, who followed our process to get their green card in only 35 days. Alright, so there are a few things going on at the same time in your life at the moment. First, you're making some life-altering decisions, such as getting married, which for many of you is the very first time. But then there's immigration, which for pretty much all of you, it's truly the first time dealing with something as big as applying for a green card. And then there are a few levels to this overwhelm, right? So first, worry about actually handling this process. Do we hire a lawyer or do we do it ourselves? Sometimes couples would reach out to lawyers and not hear anything back, or hear back without liking what they're hearing, and they're like, okay, so how do I actually find a lawyer then? Or if the quote they heard was $6,000 to $10,000, they're even more lost because now they seriously start considering doing it themselves.
I don't have $10,000 just kind of hanging out that I can use to fund something like that.
By the way, you can watch the full interview here. But from what even this couple shared, they go online and generally see a ton of contradicting or straight up outdated information, and that's where the stress creeps in, since they're back to square one, not knowing how to properly tackle it. It's too high stakes, right, to undertake it and then make a mistake. And honestly, not everyone has the time to sit down and go through a bunch of YouTube videos and immigration forums to learn how this all actually works. Plus, it changes all the time, and then still at the end, you're not even sure if you did everything right. Plus, in addition, and you would probably relate to this, but there is definitely a bit of worry about the outcome of the application. Potential denials, like how long will it take? Will I be stuck in the US for 2 years without the possibility to work and travel? And of course, there's always this lingering fear of a possible denial. That's where the private immigrant community has been such an amazing part of our program. The couples who join our marriage immigration method don't just get a step-by-step guide through their entire immigration journey. They also get to see the progress of other successful couples and gain confidence in the success of their own journey. If that sounds like a solution you've been searching for, you can connect with us directly by using the link in the description. But let's also talk about the financial concerns. I mean, the application itself is around $3,000 now, plus the legal fees to actually assist you with the application, and there are never any guarantees, right? You're going into this knowing that the USCIS makes a bunch of mistakes, which you would have to pay for, whether you're working with a lawyer or doing it yourself. You also maybe heard some horror stories online or from friends who've gone through this process on how it can sometimes go. This was definitely my experience, and it is something I hear from basically 99% of couples we connect with. And the interesting thing is that it literally does not end. The stress of immigration changes depending on the stage you're currently in, but it does not go away. Why? Because then you need to prepare your documents. Again, whether you're working with someone or doing it yourself, there will be a list of things you need to handle. Commingling your funds, getting your partner on the lease agreement, opening bank accounts, figuring out the health insurance situation, and everything in between, especially if the foreign spouse does not have a social security number. No one can do it for you. It has to be you. Sometimes couples reach out to us asking us to handle this for them, but no attorney can do it for you. 80% of this work is done by you anyways, and then your attorney just organizes it and mails it to the USCIS. Okay, now the fun part. Let's imagine you prepared everything and shipped it to the USCIS. 99% of the time, 3 months down the road, you start having questions. This waiting period is often so frustrating because there's truly no way to know when you will get your resolution. The USCIS did this thing where they included a time tracker inside your USCIS online account that basically predicts when you will get your approvals. And guess what? It's completely incorrect. It does not work, and it is a major cause of anxiety because it constantly goes from 2 weeks to taking longer than expected to 8 months and so on. Look, we have couples inside our marriage immigration method who got their green cards in 30 to 60 days. But then there are some who've been waiting for over a year. And then, depending on how you handled your paperwork, whether you did it yourself or with some help, you can also start having fears of the application being denied and the potential consequences, such as separation or deportation, just a lot of second guessing. I mean, imagine submitting your application, waiting for well over a year to then get a denial, and that happens. Again, most of these fears are super unrealistic, but we immigrants succumb to them all the time since we're aware of all of these crazy stories, and because so much is on the line. That's where you can also start questioning the strength of your relationship and whether you have provided enough evidence to prove its legitimacy. It just becomes an emotional roller coaster for real, at least in my personal experience and experience of our members who've been waiting for a while. And guess what? Again, it does not end, because then you have to reset and repeat the whole deal again with the removal of conditions and naturalization. We cover what goes into this in this video, so you can check it out to learn more. But just remember that if your green card gets approved before your second wedding anniversary, you will get a conditional green card valid for 2 years, and then you have to go through a completely different process that is taking a very long time these days, which is what makes it stressful in itself. To summarize, although you're very focused on this first green card right now, it is important to know that your immigration does not end here. And pretty much as soon as you overcome the first hurdle, you have to start thinking and planning for the next one. So definitely reach out if you're looking for a complete solution like the marriage immigration method. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Give this video a like, and we will see you next week.